Hello, kids. Just woke up. It's like 11 something. I took a shower too, but anyway, got the article. Many people sent me about the gal who's like the first to get a PhD in feminist studies, and I thought they already had PhDs in feminist studies. Otherwise, I don't know how you wouldn't have women's studies. Or maybe it was just at this campus. Anyway, it didn't matter because it's like the third article I've read where the person they're writing about or someone being written about, their job is an activist. And I just like to convey, see, the old people, my age and older, but it's more my age, they've made it so that being an activist is a real job. And it isn't. And you all know my position on jobs that aren't real jobs. They don't pay shit. They're not really rewarding. You don't really do anything. And 9 out of 10 times, you're just begging other people for money or trying to change something that nobody really wants changed. You're trying to influence or force your own personal opinion, your own political opinion on other people's, which is very tyrannical and oppressive. And this could go both ways on the politics. Let me bring up another thing. How many of you on the left or libertarian leading side like the activists, in the church trying to ban abortion? Do you like them? Well, it's kind of the same thing here. Anyway, I'm trying to help out the younger kids to identify and see through all the brainwashing and bullshit they've received from K through college education so that they don't waste. You see, government and the teachers' unions and your naive parents are already going to force you to waste 17 years of your youth going through school and then another 4 years minimum going to college, okay? So they're going to waste it. I'm trying to prevent you from wasting the remaining maybe 50 years of your life. 60 years of your life. By pointing out, shining a light on this corruption, on this. I'd call it evil. So your parents are naive. I don't think they're evil. I think they're just lazy. They don't really care to get involved in education, politics. They just, it's for the children. More money for my children. Hang on, let me drop you off at daycare. I love you. Bye. I'm going to go work my career now. Do I have a kid? What? Oh, yeah, I left Jimmy over at daycare. Sadly, I don't think most of your parents love you either. I'm not trying to become cultist. See, now everyone's going to say, that's what a cult would say. A cultist would say. I'm not I just really, honestly, that's my opinion. I think, not the vast majority, but I'd say, because it's my generation having kids now, and I grew up with these assholes, and really, I don't think 60% of the parents even really love their children. They really don't. They wanted to have you, just like the baby boomers wanted to have us. They just wanted children. And then, what? Raise it? Fuck it. It's like a dog. Someone begs for a puppy. Can I have a puppy? Can I have a puppy? No. And then you finally acquiesce to the kid's request to give him a puppy. And they take care of it. Are you going to take care of the puppy? Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Okay. And then a week goes by and the kid's like, fuck the puppy, and out running around playing because, that's kind of what it is. Anyway, larger point is that you can't even rely on your parents to see through this bullshit. So that's what I'm trying to do. And so activism is one of those red flag words that if you hear it, it's bullshit. So let me explain why, right? The short version is that there is no economic production with activism, okay? If you look at it, it's heavily tied into nonprofits and government work and that touchy-feely bullshit. And when you think activism, you think protesting, you think what's the thing, the Peace Corps, all that other stuff. There's nothing that comes out of activism. What activism is you're simply a tool for a political group to go and affect their change. And in a lot of regards, you're pawns. You don't even understand what you're doing. Like these OWS protesters, I mean, if you interviewed them, you thought jaywalking was bad with Jay Leno. Go interview some of the OWS protesters about basic economics or why they're there. And really ignorant, dumb, naive, well, it's time to bring the corporations down, man. It's the 1%. And it's like, well, what does the 1% pay? Fuck you, man. Don't bring me down. So, you really are pawns in a larger political game that you're completely unaware of. In relation to that, if you don't know what you're fighting for, you're just fighting for it because you think it's cool and it's romantic from an exciting stand, not passion romance, but romantic from a literature stance. Like it's interesting, it's engaging, it's adventuresome. Ooh, I'm an activist. What was I gonna say? You're also incredibly ego and self-centered. You're despicable. You don't care about whether. I mean, it's like it's not going to be anything as the political agenda that they're going to say that activism is for. It's not going to be anything as Hitler. What if he came out and says, "Let's kill all the Jews"? Even in Munich, 1938, would have been a hard sell. Let's just kill a bunch of people. See, it's got to be sugar-coated and propagandized and translated into something that people will get behind. So always for the children, economic justice, women's rights, blah, 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 when not even 9 times out of 10, 95 times out of 100, it's for socialism. It's for communism. Down the road, all right? And if you don't believe me, look at the policies they advocate. And also look at the high correlation between activists and how they vote. 100% of them vote Democrat. That's just how it is. Or sometimes they go with the Socialist Party, the Democratic Socialist of America, of which many Democrat senators belong to. So that's what you're advocating. Now, I don't care how they disguise it as environmentalism, women's rights, children's rights, age rights, whatever group or demographic the left in this country has divvied up and divided the country and set it against itself. Whatever group, it doesn't matter, or whatever crusade, it doesn't matter. It's all for giving more money to the government and less money to the individual. That's what it is. Right? And if you're such a weak-minded individual that you don't care about that because you're going to get money, because you're going to get ego satisfaction, you're going to get a little bit of money, but you're going to get ego satisfaction, and you can avoid a real job. I shouldn't even put that in quotes. The activism is the fake job. And avoid a real job like that. You don't want to do engineering. You don't want to do accounting. You don't want to really carry your weight in this society. You look, ooh, an activist. I could get to go do something fun. All right? And I pointed out to you, saying, hey, you're advocating what's killed more humans, except for the bubonic plague and malaria and things. Like this ideology has starved out more people. It is a bad, evil thing. There's not a more evil thing humans have created than socialism and communism. And if you still want to go do that because your little spoiled suburbanite ass needs the ego flutteries in your heart, so you gotta do something, I gotta do something. You're despicable. You're evil. Right? So, it's up to you. Okay? Do you want to go work this fake job where you don't carry your weight? You're always begging. You're always begging for money. You need government grants. You need government money. You need nonprofit money. You need people to give you money. Anytime you need people to give you money, that means no one really wants your shit. No one really values you or your labor or what you're doing. You are, from an economic standpoint, a worthless person. Right? A lot of people, I have a feeling. No. You might be of emotional or psychological benefit to some other people, but financially, you are a net negative on society, right? That money could have gone to somewhere else. Oh yeah, we're going to pay money to give to fucking spoiled brat college kids who should be working and studying, becoming future producers and leaders of America. And we're going to give money to those kids so that they could go drive around the planet or the world or the country and hold signs that say, hey, ho, ho, evil something's got to go. When that money could be actually given to like actual poor kids or kids who like have trouble paying for tuition or job training programs for people who are like, kicking the habit for whatever drug, right? You really think about it if you're capable of intellectual honesty. But if you're so brainwashed by the K through 12, okay, let me say, I've already deprogrammed you. I've already de-brainwashed you. I've already told you how it works. And deep down inside, you got that tingle that knows I'm right. That's a conscious, all right? You decide what to do. You want to go be an activist, become like this stupid idiot, that broad that got a doctorate in women's studies? Read what her dissertation. Look it up. I'm not going to look it up, but look at what this woman says. And then look what her dissertation was about and all that. And tell me if that advances society. Tell me what good or benefit that does. Not to mention, now she's just going to go teach the same fucking pablum to a bunch of kids who are going to, in turn, waste hundreds of... if she's a professor, maybe over the course of time, easily millions of dollars. People are going to waste millions of dollars on this worthless class to learn absolutely nothing. Right? You ask yourself a question, whether you want to become a worthless person like that and put on the mantle of activist, you know. And if you can look at yourself in the mirror. Frankly, you're an evil, despicable person. Doodles.